favored in this matchup as well. I think I remember for some time
This is a great
that
opportunity to learn.
this is a very difficult matchup for Pango playing into the Storm Spirit, because you want to play up in their face, you want to keep shield crashing consistently, but Storm, he's going to out-man fight you. You can jump on a Storm all you want, but then you're jumping into a couple Remnants, right? As well as like an Electric Vortex, and you're always going to lose that trade. And then at some point on the map, you're going to show, and this Storm can easily solo kill you before you get your roll off. And even if you do get your roll off, Storm can safely disengage. So very Storm favored matchup here. Not as much as the Puck versus DK as we saw in the last matchup, but I would give this like a, I don't know, maybe like a 60-40 in the Storm's favor.
Well, Team Bright, here they are with a draft that not as bad as it should have been with the opening pick on the Medusa. And IG, of course, going to be backing themselves. A lot of hero player specialties. JT Doom, X Nova Phoenix, NTS Pango, Baboka Enchantress, and the Monet Faithless Void. If you're ever going to give yourself the best possible opportunity, the best roll of the dice to continue in the qualifiers, this is it for them. So let's see. Game 3, cards all on the table. How is this going to pan out? And of course, we know that LGD waiting in the wings for the winner and definitely watching this game with keen interest, trying to develop counter strategies for the upcoming lower bracket final. First little skirmish here, nothing's gonna happen. So that means we're not gonna have any weird shenanigans. Oh, bro, TK! What a player. All right, we didn't necessarily see it on camera, but he tried to deny the rune in front of Monet's face, but Monet out-clicked him. But it was a nice little idea coming in from the Lion player.
Yeah, he's given it a shot, but very difficult play to execute. It would have been quite the spectacle if he was actually able to manage that one. But the lanes here, much better. Like, Irving, guess what? If he gets Fire Spirited, know what he can do? He can press Anchor Smash and still CS. A much more manageable matchup here against the Phoenix. And he should have a good laning stage here. And this is why I kind of worried about this Void pick just a little bit. Void ain't good versus Tide in the lane. It's just not a good lane matchup. It might be... Void might just be a good hero, and that's why they want to play it, but I think it will give Irving pretty much a free lane. That's what I was mentioning before, like, getting a hero that's a little more aggressive, potentially that Ursa or the Wind Ranger, because, like, that'll make it so Tide has a bad laning stage. But versus a Void, they're all in on the late game for this Void here, and they're going to give Tide a free laning stage as a result here. Will it be the right choice? We'll have to see.
Irving's going to be happy. Ulu's going to have a good start to the game. But by the way, speaking of Ulu, have you actually had one of the bubble Medusas in your game?
What's a bubble Medusa?
The neutral item, the bubble.
Oh, no. What's a
I had the displeasure of experiencing it. Basically, because of how the bubble interaction works, right? And how it interacts with Medusa's the mana shield.
Yeah.
At some point in the game, you have to deal about 500 damage to get through the bubble to start dealing damage to her, right? Because it's normally supposed to deal that you get through the bubble, deal damage to like the patch health pool of the hero. Right? Yeah, the patch fixed it, yeah, but I had a chance to experience it before that happened. It was something. It was something.
So it's like, definitely an item you wouldn't want to get if you think it works the way it should work, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't working the way it should work. So they had to fix it. I mean, how does it get to that point, you know? Like, what type of player do you have to be to, like, choose a bad neutral item just to experience that it's bugged? I guess everyone tries something. At least once.
Yep. It probably happened when someone was trying to grief the game because we're just like, whatever, we're already losing. I don't really care anymore. And they were like, wait a second. This is amazing. This is wonderful. Down bottom, JT is about to have his career taken away by Ulu. Feels bad. Obviously, the Medusa is going to be very happy about this. And JT, he's still chilling though. He's playing Doom in this situation. Not that far away from getting his Helm of Iron Will. Everything's fine. Red Panda just steals away the Healing Lotus, but him and Baboka shouldn't be able to necessarily threaten each other that much. Although Baboka might take a pretty hefty chunk of damage here. We got 4 poison stacks out. He might be able to get the 5th one. It's going to hurt quite a bit, but Baboka still a little bit too tanky. Will end up surviving throughout all of this.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Nothing to worry about here. But they're not really shutting down this Medusa at all right now. That can always change with creep, and I think Boca really needs to focus on getting that level 3. That way he can get up to, you know, a creep that can actually do something in the laning stage. He just stole over a hill troll, but it's gonna have to instantly go back. Not gonna be able to do much with that one. And they're gonna get a D ward on the big camp.
This is useful. Just underneath the tier 1 tower, there's a Sato camp, so if you can get there at some point, you can use that to put pressure onto Medusa. And other side of the map,
much needed.
Wow, first blood ends up happening. Monet and X Nova finding the TK Lion. How did this happen, Brother Fear? What do you think went on?
I mean, I'm more than certain that Lion was just trading with X Nova, used his mana drain, used his stun, and then Monet just hopped over with a time dilation and just whacked him down.
Unreal.
And that's something you just got to be careful about. Like, sometimes you lose, or sometimes you forget when you play versus Void. I don't know how you could possibly forget because Void is so popular this patch, but this time dilation is really strong. And if you kind of get stuck in a wrong spot and you get jumped on with time dilation, it looks like they used the Icarus dive and the time walk, and they just caught him with 2 spells on cooldown, and then he just had to waddle away. And of course, throw a blood grenade on top of that with a bootsless Lion. You're not going to be running very quickly away, and you're just going to die. And Tide, look at Tide's build as well. He can't really help. He went for a build that's just going to shut down Monet. 2 points in the anchor, 1 in the Kraken show, no gush. Can't really help him. You just got to play more carefully if you're the Lion in this lane. That's all there is to it.
Watch your feet, Mr. Lion Man. TK hopefully will be a little bit more cautious next time around, not allowing himself to get caught out like this. And turning our attention towards the mid lane, you were mentioning how this is a Storm-favored matchup, and Butterfly Effect must be feeling good because he is back in the position he was in the first game. Stomping, nothing to say here. 24-5. Well, it's not so bad with this new wave, you know. Shield Crash helped them out a lot, but still, Butterfly Effect heavily, heavily favored the way things are looking right now.
Yep. Just manning up on him. And both of them are fine, but he's definitely winning in that CS department here. And that's exactly where you want to be as a Storm Spirit. Storm is a very volatile hero. Is they're going to mana? Oh, he canceled the swashbuckle in the mid lane here. And nothing to say.
He actually might kill him.
Trouble. Oh, evade. He got the 2
danger.
misses uphill.
Oh my gosh.
He must be
2
so
uphill
mad.
misses. Both of them overload procs and he doesn't get either. That is so sad, dude.
Yeah. You can't see it on the stream, but he dropped a double ha-ha voice command, knowing frustrated that happened.
On the bright side, though, it does zone NTS all the way back to base, so that is going to allow him to get a wave or 2 completely uninterrupted. So that's something, and it allows him to completely take away the Siege Wagon. So it is still a win, even though he doesn't get the supposed kill that might have happened if he got the overload hit.
He just doesn't get the glory of getting the solo kill, you know? And that's what all these mid players live for.
Well, between himself and TK, they should be able to keep NTS away from any of these power runes. So this actually reminds me a lot of Game 1, where they prioritize being able to control this aspect of the mid lane, and it's working out for them yet again. While this is going down, they get the Medusa down bottom. How did that happen? Red Panda was nearby as well with the point into the disruption. So I'm quite surprised that Ulu found himself far enough forward that he ends up dead here. It's not even like Baboka has a Sato creep. He's got a Centaur. Oh, he did have a Sato. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's got the
the
mana burn creep. So it's like a mana burn creep and a Centaur creep. So pretty easy kill, to be honest, if you're under those conditions. Definitely really annoying to play against this mana burn, and they're gonna go again.
Need the tier 1 already lost quite a bit here, but doesn't seem like they want to fully commit for this one. JT zoning back Red Panda. They actually bring in the support X Nova Phoenix. So now that
Lulu's alone now.
He's been burnt down. Yeah, he's dead. Definitely gonna die here.
Dead.
Oh no! And to make matters worse, he doesn't have TP like you said. He's gonna have to do the waddle of shame as this Medusa to come back into this lane. JT, all right. They're going to be able to do not just significant damage to the tier 1 here, they should be able to take it down writ large.
And these are game-winning plays by not only Nothing to Say, but X Nova here too. Because their lanes weren't going well, right? They were losing all 3 lanes. Now they make a simple rotation. This Pango moves forward on the map. gets the kill on the Shadow Demon, and then his presence of being down there means that Medusa just can't do anything. She's just gonna die. And if Storm TP's into that, he's gonna die too because there's 4 heroes there, right? So that move was incredibly good, and it all was because the Pango moved down there and X-Nova secured it too. Because if they didn't bring in as many numbers as they did, then they could have probably just turned it around with one Storm TP.
Because of when this move happened, Ulu is not in a position to just easily flash farm his way into a better situation. Game looked pretty hard, and now they have the level 6 on JT. They go to the top lane, Doom out, first on of the game onto this Irving Tide. It's getting burnt out as well by the Sunray. That's one thing we didn't talk about, just how painful Sunray is going to be for this Tidehunter. He winds up dead. In this game, all of a sudden, from G2.iG, feels like it's just broken wide open. JT, man, leading the charge, helping his team in literally 3 lanes all at once. JT is just like, don't worry, y'all, I got you. We're going to make this game a lot easier in the early game than it should be otherwise.
They might get Baboka here, but it's just an inch at this point. So even if they do get this kill here, which they most certainly will, it's still outmaneuvering by IG in this game. And the weakness of their heroes was that inevitably their lanes were going to be worse. But in theory, they have the better team fight, and they have like strong heroes like Faces Void and Pango versus Medusa. And they're getting off to a start where their bad lanes have turned into a good rotation in the mid game, and now they're just ahead in gold.
I mean, I'm sure Team Bright right now, there's a universe where the first rotation of the Storm kills off JT on the Doom instead, and that allows them to secure at least a tier 1 for a little bit longer. They don't have to give up map control here, but these small decisions that G2.iG have made have cascaded into a brilliant place to be. This is going to complicate life. Storm Spirit, yes, he got that rotation kill, but with the first power trades, where does he even go right now to try and like keep accelerating this game at the moment?
The 10-minute rune.
Oh, middle. They're looking towards NTS potentially. Can they find this kill? No, they cannot. He swashbuckles away. He goes into the rolling thunder. One more hit would be able to kill him. But Monet finds the chrono onto both the Lion and the Storm. NTS survives with less than 30 HP. Turns around with the swashbuckle onto the Lion. And him and Monet will share glory for that kill. 2 heroes go down. Baboka comes through, has access to the Enchantress. It doesn't have Nature's Attendance just yet, but they have Caesar's Serenity for nothing to say. So drops that behind the tier 1 tower. He'll be absolutely fine. And that is heartbreaking fear. They almost had him. One more right click. That's all it would take, but they don't get it.
I mean, yet again, this game is just a game of inches here, and G2.iG just one step ahead yet again. Monet, that TP was absolutely brilliant, saving the Pango's life there. Nothing to say, was just playing on the edge there. He's like one line click, right click away from dead. Goes back just in time, baits in the Storm. Storm went all in for that, by the way. Like, he used everything he had to go for that kill. Miscalculated just a little bit on how much damage he was going to do for that. Then they realized right away, Monet, oh, Storm's got no mana. I'm just going to TP in Chrono here, mop him up. We'll just get that kill, and now he's just going to heal on up, as you mentioned, with the Seeds of Serenity, with the active health regen, and he's going to get a Bottled Illusion rune here too. Not the best rune this game, but it's pretty decent. I think he's mainly just going to pop this just so he can be healthy again and make something happen on the map.
Oh boy, these are the kind of game that tilt you, honestly, where things work going quite decently for you, and then now twice in a row, you end up in a situation where the best possible outcome doesn't happen for want of like a little bit of damage, a little bit of mana, a little bit of positioning. Ah boy, and while all this was taking place,
for them.
Yeah, I'm mad on their behalf, bro. It's like, what the hell is this?
I mean, it's pretty sad. Sure, like if you look at the CS, they're still winning in CS, but they're down 2k gold because the score is 1-7, right? They're giving away a lot of kills on this map here, and a lot of it has to do with G2.iG just outplaying them on the map here, but it's also just, it has to be said that that they're making some moves and some rotations that just aren't really well thought out, and that's causing them to just lose their lives. Sure, Tide still hasn't died, but like Storm with that death in the mid lane is really bad for him. We saw the the travesty that happened in the bottom lane to Ulu, who had a great game, into like just now he has to just play completely defensive, which is very sad for him. And that's just not the situation that and the spot you want to be in. But just because of these moves, because of the rotations that G2.iG has been making on the map, they've made something out of pretty much nothing here. Because if they would have kept the lanes as they were, they would have been slowly losing this game to the point where it just would have been like, oh, like shit, we can't do anything anymore. This game is just out of control. But they had the presence of mind to make the moves on the map, make something happen, and they clawed their way out of that laning stage and put them in an advantageous position.
2K gold up. We are gonna have the G calls coming out. I was also getting a little bit of silver lag there, so appreciate the pause, boys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we're
Maybe
all
they
good.
were too.
I cannot believe NTS is still on track for a decent timing on his diffusal blade, given how things were looking early on for him. And actually, when all of this started, this cascading effect of why things have gone south with Team Bright. If only Butterfly Effect had gotten those 2 uphill misses. Those just one of those hits, everything would have been fine.
True. I just noticed my ping on China server is not bad. I have less ping on China. 150.
150 to China?
Yeah, it's better than what I have to Europe.
How is that possible? From California?
Yeah, wow. California.
Amazing. We're gonna see a kill. Alright, Butterfly Effect. This time there will be no misses. They'll be able to bring down X-Nova. Somebody needs to sub out. Fierce ping is good enough. Don't worry about it, y'all. He's got your back. He'll get involved in the game.
Yep. Put me in, coach.
What do you think about this Orchid that Butterfly Effect is going for? There's a lot of carries these days that buy Manta style, but even faceless boys don't really go for that item early anymore, so it feels like he's going to get quite a lot of value out of it since they don't really have any real tools for dispelling that silence is going to apply to them.
I don't know if the China faceless voids aren't going Manta, but there's a lot of voids that will go it if needed. Pango also will go it because he's universal. I think this is a build that is really good if you're ahead, and he'll solo kill Void, he'll solo kill Pango on the map, but the timing isn't good, right? Because of just how things have transpired on the map. But he's a bit committed, because I think if you do go for this Falcon Blade, I think the next item afterwards is going to be the Orchid. Because the Witchblade's the other item you go for, but normally you don't want to go Witchblade with Falcon Blade. I think this game just didn't go the way that he wanted to in his mind. And now he's just kind of stuck with this item build. It's still going to be good, though. Like, don't get me wrong. But it's a little all-in. He's going to have to find some kills with it. Because if he doesn't get some kills with it, the BKB Samantas will come online. And the Arcane Rune will not be going to Storm. If it would have spawned in top lane, that would be an Arcane Storm, and that could be a win condition. But instead, Dota's all about RNG. Nothing to say, he'll be the one grabbing the Arcane Rune. Both of these heroes phenomenal with an Arcane Rune. I will say Storm's a bit better, but the rich get richer here for G2.iG.
Capitalism IG doing well. It's not just an Arcane on the Pango, it's an Arcane on the Pango with the Diffusal just completed. So it is certainly time to go and hunt for targets. Ideally for them, they do find Medusa. But Red Panda is in position to tank this gank if necessary. He's dealing with a lot of this Enchantress army. Should be able to get rid of it. And the Medusa, wise enough to play very safely. So it doesn't look like this particular move is going to turn into anything. And G2.iG, they went for the full wrap on this one. Look where nothing to say is right now. But it's absolutely nothing to find there, my friend. So you're just going to walk by the world for nothing. And I don't think X-Nova is carrying any vision either, so they're not going to really be able to accomplish much with this move.
Well, they see Dusa now. But Dusa sees there's no camp there, and he should be pretty wise about this now. Just nuke it out and go back. And he's even going to call his Shadow Demon to sit behind him just in case. Meanwhile, Storm is farming a stack over there, getting a bit closer to that Orchid. I think it's just like full farm mode here for Team Bright. Until they at least get an Orchid, I think. I mean, Dusa doesn't want to do anything for a long time because that's just how the hero operates. But I think she at least wants a Manta, which she's getting close to, so that should be online relatively soon.
We just saw JT completing out the Shiva's Guard for himself and the Doombringer.
13 minutes
So-
and 45 seconds, huh?
Not bad, right? Just aside. That was pretty chilled.
That's 2 games in a row
Wait.
now where he gets a sub 15-minute Shiva.
Yep. Yep, not bad. Now he's gonna try to leverage this, move with his team. You just post up and be like, now what, y'all? What do you want me to do?
Shiva's and also having the shield rune. Yeah, he's pretty tanky. Oh, what a chrono!
Oh my gosh, that chronosphere on the 3 heroes followed up by the supernova right behind them. They've already managed to bring down 2. Rolling Thunder assisting in that one. NTS crashes into Butterfly Effect before he can zip out to make that 3. So they get literally everything out of this. The tier 1 tower, the Butterfly Effect kill, both supports brought down. And the best part about all of this, Fear, they did it without necessarily needing Monet. Basis Void has just been down bottom, chilling, getting fat as hell on his Void, becoming a real problem on the map for the entire team.
He just hit a chrono on the Shadow Demon, Lion, and Storm Spirit. Couldn't ask for better targets, really. And then that allowed him to get the Doom on the Storm, and the supports just ended up getting mopped up by nothing to say. I'm starting to feel Bright feeling a little bit of the pressure in this game. Nothing is really going their way here.
Yeah. All going south for them. They're being outplayed.
Alright.
IG, they're gonna find themselves a situation where they get X-Nova completely sacrificed. He dies in the top part of the map. Okay, that's pretty nice. That's a good start. It's something. And they didn't have to commit any big spells to make that happen, so it definitely is something that they'll take it. They'll accept it. They're like, it's fine. Sadly, though, given the drop that they have, it's not like they can go headlong into the Roshan pit like they could in game 1. They're actually going to go bottom to try force a potential fight here.
No Doom.
Going through the Twin Gate. They know there's no Doom. They know there's no Chrono either, so they are feeling very confident about this. Unfortunately, though, IG also has access to that same information, so they do not have confidence in this fight, and they'll happily vacate the area to wait for a better opportunity.
Yeah, I like the patience there from G2.iG there. I think losing your Doom there would have been disastrous as mid lane.
Oh, mid lane! Ulu! Gonna get slowed down by the Shivas. They do not have Doom available, but they have the Rolling Thunder. They have some impetus shots. They have the creep army from the Enchantress. They are able to bring down Ulu. Man, this is actually so smart. They knew that there was a move happening bottom, so presumably the support would be that side as well, and not standing behind the Medusa, the protector. What a play from G2.iG. And a lot of it comes from this ward that they left behind as they were taking the previous tier 1. Oh no, they only dropped it down. Never mind. I thought this ward was around a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, that's where your carry always dies, to be honest with you. Like, you never go for that mid wave. Like, that's where you just send your Manta and you farm it out. Like, farming with your hero. Top lane? Do they have the damage?
Oh, do they have the
I don't
damage
think
for this?
so.
Is the question.
I don't think
JT
so.
gonna get himself fingered, and even so, NTS shows up, swashbuckle, and now JT looking for the Doom onto Butterfly Effect. Butterfly Effect out of mana. He's trying to TP out right now, and JT cannot catch him, can't find him. But he's just happy to soak up that attention, soak up that damage, and be like, all right, cool. Just set up for another kill for NTS.
Like, that's what feels bad. Like, you use a Storm Orchid, right? That you've been farming this whole game. You find a hero, you use your Orchid, you get the perfect initiation, you stun, you hex him, you use Finger of Death, and you can't even kill that hero. Like, if you can't kill a hero under those circumstances, that's bad news. And that's bad news that there's a hero that farmed that you cannot die to that amount of spell damage.
Bro, he's 1800 HP with 37 or 38 armor, actually. It's gonna be a fight that happened in the mid lane, bro. They're gonna try this Orchid trick onto the Pango, but JT jumped in with the beautiful hoof stomp. They at least do get the Doom out onto Irving, but Pango does end up dead. They walk away from the Supernova from X-Nova. Irving, though, might end up ticking out as Monet dropped the Chrono onto Butterfly Effect. The Storm Spirit is dead. Red Panda doing his best to try and save Irving and will succeed in this endeavor. But the most important hero, arguably, of this mid-game ends up getting brought down by Monet, who is having a baller of a performance on his Faceless Void. Like, we were assuming he's going to have not necessarily the best lane, but between him and X-Nova, they got the first blood in the laning phase. He shows up middle to get that incredible kill at some point. And from then, Monet's just been rolling through this game, fam. 2-0-6, 19 minutes into the game on a Faceless Void.
Yeah, and Monet's just outplaying them. not much else to say about it in that regard. Like, his lane wasn't good. CS-wise, right? He was getting really outplayed in the CS. Well, it's not really outplayed. It just kind of like how the matchup works. You can't really CS against a Tide as a melee hero because you just have no base damage. But he had the presence of mind to find that kill, get the first blood, and then, of course, make that TP to the mid lane and kill the enemy mid laner. Really put him back on point. And not to mention that other team fight where he got 3 heroes, but we'll see if he dies now, as there is a smoke going towards him. He knows.
Blink Ravage, but
he knows.
Monet, dude, the game sense. Can't catch this man. He knows.
I think that's
the trick.
That
here.
is impressive.
Game 1, they gave him, Juggernaut, who doesn't have necessarily that much natural mobility. Game 2 and 3, they gave him Morphling, they gave him Faceless Void. Heroes who he can leverage his game sense to move around the map quickly with, and my god, is it working out for them in this way.
Yeah, he noticed on the bot lane that you'll see it's pushing in. Nobody went to go farm it. So he had the presence of mind, like, all right, if they're not farming bot lane, what could they be doing on a process elimination? Are they all jungling, or are they smoking? And they decided it was a smoking, and he was correct, and they ended up dodging that. Just using the information that the map is giving him allows him to make a very crucial dodge in that gank. Because that would have been kind of Bright's way back into it, getting that kill real quick. Maybe if Monet's dead, you can make another rotation, you can make the map bleed a little bit. But unfortunately for them, they get nothing yet again. Bright falling short in what seems to be every single fight this game.
It's a 10k net worth lead for G2.iG at the 21-minute mark. It doesn't seem like they're going to be arresting this momentum anytime soon. Pango building into having the Aghanim Scepter, just got level 15 as well. So in tandem with this Rolling Thunder duration, once they get the Zags, you just go force fights and you just never look back, never stop. And TS is going to just be having a good performance. And Monet is also not far away from BKB. This is really scary. They might have been able to make that move happen and kill Monet, but I'm not sure they can 100 to 0 him before he can get off BKB or Time Walk anymore. So they need to, if they can't kill him with this smoke, which they're not going to be able to find, unfortunately, I'm not sure when they're going to have their chance to bring down this Faceless Void again.
He is on a vision, though. He's on Radiant's vision, so if they can't kill him here, yeah, I don't know what other opportunities there will be once the BKB. They can obviously chain stun him with the amount of stuns that they do have, but like he's farming this too quickly. They're gonna have to go now.
Alright, I think they get him. He's silenced up. Irving, does he have Ravage support? He does, and they do manage to find the kill. It's a pity that TK couldn't throw in a finger for some stacks, but you'll take what you can get. Unfortunately for them, he did end up finishing the BKB. So upon respawn, they're going to have the dual BKB on Faceless Void and Doom. And to make matters worse, their only source of minus armor right now is level 2 Gush. So they can't even exploit the timing to try and bring down the Aegis, sadly.
Yeah, and TK is just so poor this game. Like, he has his Shard and Brown Boots. And that's pretty much it right now. And I think he needs to get to that Blink Dagger, because with this BKB, they're going to need this Lion to stun him before he gets his BKB off. For him to be able to catch up the Storm and do the chain stun, he's going to need a Blink of his own. Otherwise, I feel like there's no way this Lion's going to walk up and stun this Faceless Void before he gets BKB off. And you don't want to have to use Ravage every single time, right? Just to get a single kill. You want to just use some Lion spells.
Speaking of Storm Spirits, as we see a Roshan attempt happening from G2.iG, he's actually going back for the Witchblade. What do you make of this instead of going for like a different item, maybe some Shivas, a BKB, something like that? Do you think this is the correct way, or is Parasma even that good on Storm this game that it's necessary to go for the Witchblade right now?
I don't know if it's like, I don't play a lot of Storm myself, but Parasma is really broken on the Storm. Because it does like the debuff and magic resist, and it will help you do a lot more damage in burst. So I think the way he's seeing right now is like, he wants to be able to burst a hero within the Orchid as much as possible. And Witchblade's just a good item on Storm. I don't know if it's the best possible item, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's acceptable.
Needs to be a bit careful right now. They are smoked up on the side of G2.iG, and if they get any vision of him, he's the person they would love to chase. But Team Bright, they have backed off adequately from G2.iG's side of the map. Dire's scan is going to connect onto TK Lion. And I think he's probably dead here. He's really desperately just trying to get the gold for the Blink Dagger. So it would be a travesty if he did end up falling. You're not going to notice JT, who's still smoked up for a little while longer.
That's a
TK,
deadline if
oh
I ever
no,
seen one.
TK. Saws my G. Well, on the bright side here, he did bait out a Rolling Thunder and a BKB charge from JT. So it's not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world either.
Yeah, I mean, from his perspective, honestly, I wouldn't be too sad. Like, your game is already pretty bad. Like, what's one more death? And he's at 1,700 gold, so he'll get that income. He's slowly going to get there. He hasn't got a tier 2 neutral item yet, so maybe if he gets one of those, he can get a, you know, maybe a nice little stone to give him some money or something like that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That would be so nice. TK would be. I'm sure he's praying right now for a Philly Stone. Like, please, bro. Come on, David. Do the right thing.
I mean, this safety bubble is too good. I think this is the next neutral item to get nerfed. It does way too much. 5 health regen is like an absurd amount, and then 100 HP barrier is just like so nice. And it's obviously not gonna save him anymore at this point. Not sure why he doesn't have a tier 2 neutral item. Do they just not have enough of them, or did they get jacked, or what? No, it's just available, and Lion just hasn't clicked it from the stash yet.
Oh, well, they might need to do something special because he needs to show up middle to help out Ulu, who is in a little bit of danger here. The Chrono is going to come out from Monet. They really want this Medusa kit, and it looks like they are going to find it. No way out for Ulu. Going to get himself burnt out, and JT is the one that grabs the kill. Rolling Thunder comes in from NTS, able to catch out TK on the high ground. He was so close, but he's still going to be stuck on 1,700 gold here. NTS also, for good measure, finishing off Red Panda. So Blink Dagger delayed even further. Ulu's progression towards having Butterfly is going to get stalled up. And IG just showing themselves to be the superior force on the map as they take yet again another fight and make it look easy.
Bro, can TK just take the tier 2 neutral item in the base? Like, just take it. Maybe it's a Philly Stone. He just forgot. Oh. You know, everyone's been there, right? Like, you just forget to upgrade your neutral item, but I feel like this one is so good. Like, there's so many good options in tier 2, so there has to be something better than safety bubble. There just has to be.
Yeah. In the way the game is going right now, safety bubble hasn't necessarily been giving him any real safety at all, right?
It really isn't. I think 100 shield on a Lion isn't really anything. You know? Whether he has 1100 or 1200 HP, that's not going to make a difference. Alright, whatever. I'll stop harping on that. He'll figure it out eventually. But more importantly, he's getting closer to that dagger. I mean, Ulu does have his butterfly online. Chrono is down. So those are some cool things going for you. And I think you're going to have to use this timing. This is your butterfly Medusa timing. This is the timing of old, which made this hero incredibly good. This is where you're supposed to get Aegises, run down lanes. Of course, the enemy team has the Aegis right now, which isn't great. But I think you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. And just run down the lanes without the Aegis. Because this net worth is getting ugly. And you're going to have to play around this Chrono as much as you possibly can.
Butterfly Effect jumps high ground to find NTS. He does have an Aegis indeed, but they do not have the Chronosphere. Doom is about to come back, though. JT finds TK with the stun, but Irving even better with his own Ravage stun. They're able to burst down NTS. Monet shows up to the fray as a Supernova bursts down onto 3 heroes from X-Nova. Irving getting burnt down by the Sun Ray and lashed into by the Impetus shot of Baboka. He will go down. Butterfly Effect has enough mana to zip away here. And we are 5 seconds away from having access to the Chronosphere. Not going to be necessary though, as Baboka able to get the damage out onto TK, getting him down and at the double kill. It is a painful fight for Team Bright to end up losing out on 2 of these heroes, but it's equivalent in gold exchange. They took away an Aegis and they demonstrate that under the right conditions, they can still team fight here if they can find a window in the ultimate timings of IG. Sadly for them though, look at JT. They were waiting. They just observer ward here, right next to the tier 2. No, you cannot.
Okay.
Oh, they changed it. Remember, you can't do it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Can't be done.
Alright, well, he's dead.
So. Yep. Dude, who planted this ward? It was X-Nova. What a god. This observer ward ward right here, right next to the Wisdom Rune and the Tier 2 tower. Scouted out the storm, gave JT
did,
the
yeah.
heads up, allowed him to ensure they get the kill.
Quite good as well. And that was a fight where they didn't have to use Chrono at all. And it makes you wonder, right? I know you need to do something because you're losing the game, but they made a play when Aegis had 45 seconds left. Because like that initiation was great, right? They ended up killing the Pango, but they had to do it twice, which means they used everything and some so they could kill that Pango. And then once you kill the Pango twice, you have no spells left. You have no mana on your Storm, you have no Ravage, you have no Finger, you have no Stone Gaze. Use all of that for that double kill. If maybe they waited just 45 seconds, they would have killed the Pango. They would have another round of spells. Maybe they could fight again. It just makes you wonder if like they'd be a little more patient on what this game could look like.
You know, the way you were rattling off that list, I thought you were going to be like, you got no Riz, you got no money. Oh, well, that's Butterfly Effect who has, you've got no life, no Butterfly Effect. They just kill him so easily. Like,
how does he die?
Kind of missed that type of situation.
No Chrono was used, no Doom was used. I guess he was Rolling Thunder. That was enough, I suppose.
I mean, the Pango has a patcher right now, right? So, Rolling Thunder, Swashbuckles, all these things together. They almost caught Irving, but he's able to TP out to safety in that situation.
Alright.
Oh, well. Alright, let's think about some positives, right, for Team Bright. Ulu does have
Monet doesn't have MKB yet.
Yeah, Monet doesn't have MKB. He's not going to buy MKB because he's going for Disperser first. And then he's going to come back. Or he's going Diffuser, then he'll come back for the MKB and then finish off the full Disperser. Okay, so that's going to be the progression from him.
Okay, well, what's the other positive? Line has a blink. Shadow Demon has a blink, so they got the reposition. Tide has a Hex. That's a big positive. Tide Hex could be that item that they need to lock down either Pango or... Yeah, they could lock down the Pango, or they could go ahead and just lock down the Faceless Void with that Hex and it's a Ravage. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to just smoke up right away. The Hex is available on the Tide. He'll probably lead the charge here with TK. Those two should go first, and I think Butterfly Effect should honestly just try and kill this Phoenix in the backline.
Yeah.
If you get Sunray off, this might be really difficult.
They also just got the BKB out on Ulu with this Medusa, so that might help out a bit. G2.iG though, they also smoke up themselves. JT, the smoke will pop. They know something's happening. JT went in for the initiation, but he doesn't get it off. Sadly though, they find the Doom onto Irving, who will not have a Ravage. NTS breaks up the fight a little bit on the left-hand side with this Rolling Thunder, but Ulu's already committed to full ultimate, so Monet can go right on top of him with the newly bought Diffusal Blade and absolutely demolish him. Who the hell needs MK beef here? He's just down for the count. They managed to take down Irving. Both supports are dead. Only Butterfly Effect survives this engagement. And honestly, I do not think that Team Bright overall will survive it either. Because here comes IG looking for their first lane of racks. The only thing that might dissuade them is maybe when the Tide comes back, he still has Ravage. But even if he gets a 5-hero Ravage, do they even have enough damage to kill any of these 4 heroes anymore?
I mean, that fight was an absolute disaster, and I think the main reason for that was JT played that fight like an absolute boss. And is he also gonna boss up and kill a Storm Spirit here?
No, dude, JT.
Oh, no.
Is he gonna get him? Yeah, he's got him. Inferno Blade. Cool guys don't even look at explosions. What a boss, dude.
I mean,
this
that last
is, you know what this is?
He just jumped in, right? He BKB'd, blinked in, doomed the Tide. Lion got caught as well, and then Lion and Tide, they're supposed to get the initiation, but JT saw the smoke pop, right? And he just blindly jumps into him, knowing with BKB, he's like invulnerable, gets the perfect doom, allows his team to get into the fight there. JT just destroyed that fight single-handedly.
Honestly, JT's actually just had a very good day at the office. Even that first game that they lost, he was owning on the Primal Beast. He was the only one doing really, really well on his team. Game 2, of course, he was playing that Mars, but that crazy fast timing, fastest ever this patch, on the Vladimir's offering on his Mars. And now here he is. Oh, I checked actually, Shiva's timing was 6th fastest whole patch across all heroes.
Okay.
What a god.
He is having quite the series. I would definitely agree with that. He's looking like the star player for me for this G2.iG team.
No, like it's sometimes I forget how good JT actually is. Because even back when he was on that IG team that was doing really well, they were winning. It feels like they decline. Most people will point to, well, you know, Emo started having more questionable performances. Fly wasn't always able to carry games. But, you know, those things were always true, even when the team was really good. I think it was the consistency of JT. Once that started to drop off, suddenly the whole team fell into disrepute and disrepair. But on his day, when he's playing like this, makes life easy for everybody involved in the squad.
Certainly does. And they're just going to take the enemy Tormentor because they do have a nice little Aegis in hand. And if they want to, they could just wait for Refresher to be up. In fact, they could just wait for as long as they want and just keep building this gold lead, or until they can get a pick off on the map, because at some point, you do have to leave your base if you are on the side of Team Bright. If you want to not just get behind 1 million gold. But
the Refresher is now up, so they're going to smoke.
Have to leave. Alright, what are we going to do? What's the play here?
Guess who's bottom? It's Butterfly Effect. Oh no, guess who's leading the charge? It's JT. Butterfly Effect doesn't have his Lincoln finished just yet. He has no mana. Oh, they didn't find him though. He went to literally the one place where he was going to be safe. They were waiting for him inside the base. But JT feels like he outplayed, and now mid lane, they're going in for a fight right now. They found the Chrono. It only brings down TK, but Red Panda also going to find himself dying very, very early on. Ulu with his BKB active, putting in the right-click damage onto the faceless void. Monet will die, losing his first life. With the Doom out from JT, they will prevent Irving being able to follow up with the Ravage. So Monet forced away from the fray for now. And this also bought enough time for them to finish off the full Lincoln Sphere for Butterfly Effect. He can no longer be jumped and doomed instantly. That'll make life so much easier for him. And with 2 buybacks, that dissuades IG from going forward, but it also means that if either of these supports die again, the game might just end immediately.
I mean, that was almost best case scenario for Bright as well. Like, they get the Hex off on Monet somehow while being chronoed. I'm not sure how that one worked out. Like, the timing of the Hex was like right after the chrono went off. So he doesn't get to right-click the Medusa. But I think more than anything, IG they dove a little bit too deep there. They really wanted to find something in that smoke. I like the idea. This is a play that a lot of pro teams will do. Is you'll take a lane at barracks, right? And then you'll smoke to that lane that you already took, because they have to farm it, right? Because the lane's pushing in, and then you kill heroes that show up there. But they didn't really get the perfect pick off there, so they went a little bit too deep, and we're going to have retaliation here.
Looking for a jump, and they get the Hex out onto this Enchantress, but they can't start the fight on their own terms just yet. They'll need to retreat away from this high ground, but look, it's Ulu that's isolated. They kill off the Shadow Demon. TK is dying as well.
Oh, he bashed him!
He can't TP out. Got bashed in the swashbuckle by NTS. Ulu is definitely going to die here.
That is so sad.
Oh my goodness. This is the worst case scenario. Will go down. There's 2 dispersers around him. Irving will come in with the Ravage. It catches on the 3, but it's too damn late. And now he's going to get doomed for his efforts as well. Trying to TP out, but my friend, there's multiple sources of bash, multiple sources of damage, and multiple ways of bringing the pain. Team Bright see no way back to it. Throw in the towel. GG well played is called. And G2.iG booked a date with LGD in the lower bracket final. The dream of DreamLeague is still alive.